Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. How's everyone doing? The last show I did just after New Year, some people complained, where's the intel? So I'm here to bring you a little bit of intel today because I know how much you guys love the intel, but remember, don't get distracted by it and don't get too caught up in it. But we watch it from a distance with amusement at best because we know what the outcome is. We know this war's already won, right? I keep telling you guys. But yeah, the last week has certainly been very, very interesting. Um, I mean, one of the highlights probably was Biden, who issued lifetime awards to criminals. Maybe they're not criminals in the public eye yet, but certainly they will be revealed as such very soon. A few people come to mind. Hillary, hello, George Soros. Who else? There was somebody that got an award that didn't refuse to accept the award. I forgot the name. It was a sports star. And, you know, if these people were named just before me, I would also refuse to get the reward because, I mean, award because really, how many people still don't know what these people have been up to for so many years? Now, for those really in the know, we know they're actually not around anymore. We know that they've been dealt with, but in the public eye, it has not yet surfaced. So there are these characters playing their roles. And it's so interesting because the white hats, as soon as they want to draw attention to somebody, they will put that person in the media through whatever means. It may look like a positive um, thing that they're getting this award. It looks very positive, but then people start digging, right? They start digging and say, well, what has this person actually been up to? Do they deserve this award? You know, for me, this is like really just sorry, let me just see what's going on with the Wi-Fi. Okay, we're all good to go. I mean, who remembers picture of Hillary and Soros together in Haiti for the Clinton Foundation? We know what these guys have been up to. And I think when the truth comes out, what they have really been up to, and it is worse than anyone can imagine. If perhaps you're new to this channel, it's worse than you can imagine. It really, really is. It's much worse. So once the truth comes out, it's going to be, yeah, so shocking. So I think, the White House is very good at seeding the narrative, planting seeds so that the public can look into it, they can investigate. I mean, X has now become a platform where literally, where normally didn't know anything about a certain issue is now it's becoming almost mainstream. Some of the views on these X videos and posts are much, much more than any mainstream media like CNN, BBC, Sky, CNBC, ABC, all these three-letter or alphabet mainstream media channels who are all owned by the same people, by the way. So people are starting to mistrust those platforms now. They know that they've been lying to them for literally decades. So the truth is coming out in small, bite-sized chunks. Because for some people, the truth is it's a lot. I think the ones that have been awake to all of this for years, we really are the strong ones that can carry the burden of the knowledge of all this darkness without falling apart, right? So that is us. We've had to do that. We've had to look darkness in the eye. And when we were telling people around us what was going on, they wouldn't believe it. And they asked us to stop talking about it. They shut us down. And I'm sure for many of you that was even more shocking because how can you stop the conversation after hearing about all these atrocities, especially the little ones? I mean, that's been the worst for most of us. And the reason why most of us are in this movement, because it is ultimately about the little ones. And it's absolutely horrendous how much darkness have been going on and how these little ones have been tortured, like millions of them a year, for not only decades, but actually centuries. But this is the Aquarian age. All darkness has to come to light. There is no other way. We are on the photon belt. This the light that's flooding the planet is leaving no stone unturned. So stone by stone, all the darkness are getting revealed for the public at large to see. You have to just look at the UK, what's going on there now. I mean, the grooming gangs are front right, in center on the front page of every newspaper for all these Britons to face, because many of them again have chosen to look the other way. Well, they can't look the other way anymore. It's now out in the open. You're getting Keir Starmer, you know, doing and saying horrific things, spending more money and manpower on censoring, patriots than actually protecting the citizens, which is hard to believe, but it's true. But again, for me, this is all a movie. It is to show the people, because you cannot tell the people, you have to show them. And sometimes it's got to get really bad for people to understand what's really going on. And this is what we're seeing playing out here. We know that there's this spiritual war has been going on for a very long time. The Whiteheads have been fighting in the background for a very long time. This is the last yards um, of their fight. They are almost there, and they know how much is at stake. And believe you me, they're not going to make any mistakes. All of the key world leaders have capitulated years ago already. Okay, so a lot of what we see playing out right now is just the center stage. How many times have Castle Rock been mentioned? Why? Because this is a play on the world stage. um, Again, you cannot tell the people this is what was been going on. You have to show them. It's got to get so bad that they can no longer ignore all the darkness that's right in front of them, until it affects their families, you know their livelihood, their way of life. You've got to hit them where it hurts most, right? That's unfortunately how human beings work. It's just the way that we've been brainwashed for many, many centuries. We've got such deep programming. It's no small task to untie, unblock, undo all this programming. All of, and including all of you, all of us, we're still getting rid of programming, right? We've been at it for years, but it's not easy, because that programming is so deep that your entire being is just like automatically following a lot of these programs. And that's what we're busy changing. That's what we're busy turning around. And that's why we've been working hard. I've been doing the shadow work, because, all our inner child has to heal. There's been so much trauma, generational, ancestral trauma on this planet. We're the ones we've been waiting for. And we're the ones that are healing humanity at this time, because it is about 100-monkey effect. When a certain amount of people heal and a certain amount of people have done the work, certain amount of people have done the awakening, guess what? It spreads like a wildfire, and it infects everyone around us. So that is the process that we are in. We're getting pretty close. 2025 is a year like no other. It's going to be, if ever in the future a year is spoken about, it will be 2025. Believe me, there will never have been in the past or the future a year like this, a defining, transformative year like 2025. It's like, yeah, everything will change this year. Everything that we know, all the governmental institutions, all of the people that we held in high regard, Hollywood, politicians, music industry, you name it, academia, all these universities that have been bought and paid for by the globalists, all of these corporations that we thought were so successful and so admirable, we will see what's really behind the veil in 2025. And it's a beautiful thing to see. That's all I can say. We are ready. We are excited. We've never been more ready than in 2025, right? So we're going to walk into this year with joy. We're not going to have any fear. We will look with amusement at the intel. It's sometimes fun to watch, and especially if you've been in this for a very long time, you still want to see what's playing out on the global stage. But we don't get pulled into drama, gossip, negativity, or fear. That is done. So make sure that you are waking up every morning with a positive attitude, that you do your affirmations, that you call in the highest joy and love possible for you during that day. And that is how you every day set the tone. And before you know it, it's a way of life. You don't even have to think about it. It's automatic. You've created a new program, a positive program, a program of ascension, because that's where the whole planet is heading, right? We are preparing for this planet to ascend into a higher realm, into a higher dimension, higher density. You know, we are busy evolving into a more sophisticated race, and we are it's phenomenal. I'll get to the spiritual side in a minute, because I think these weekly world updates need to have an intel side of it, a very sort of 3D what's playing out on the world stage, but it also needs a sort of a more spiritual metaphysical aspect of it, because we can't separate the two anymore. It's all one. And if you think you can only follow the one, or you're only interested in the one and not the other, you will do yourself an injustice. So I'll get to that in a minute. But probably the biggest news just happened yesterday. Justin Trudeau resigned, finally. We've been expecting this. It's been rumored. Some people thought he might hold on to his power. What happened just a few weeks ago when Trump was announced as the winner of the latest election in the USA? Well, he dropped a few nuggets. He planted a few seeds that perhaps Canada would like to be the 51st state of the USA, or perhaps it would be appropriate to be. And perhaps Justin Trudeau will be the governor of that estate, and he called him a governor. So that was very interesting for most of us. And we know that Trump doesn't just say things, just anything that comes up in his head. It's very, very carefully thought through. It's very strategic, all of it. Anything that is said is done for a reason. Sometimes, the white hats can also play psyops on the population, but these are good psyops, or how I like to call them, reverse psyops. um, and sometimes they want to just see, what does the public say about this? Are they outraged? Do they think it's a great idea? And actually, a lot of Canadians said, we'd love to be the 51st state of the US, because look at our economy. Our finance manager just resigned. And there's another minister that resigned as well. Now the prime minister's resigned. Canada's buried in debt, literally. I forgot the number, but it's huge. I think it's even more than the US. It doesn't own any gold. It's in a terrible position. So, of course, they're all going to run for the hills now. And I also believe that as soon as Mr. T came into power, meaning he was voted as the next president of the US, that was the kind of the final word to say, okay, this is your time is up. You need to either resign gracefully, or something else will be done to you forcefully. And many of these prime ministers and presidents decided to just resign, um, to exit the stage in a graceful manner as much as possible, so they can protect their reputation, their legacy, or whatever you want to call it. Although I think Trudeau's legacy will have to be destroyed. There's no other way. But it will be done when the people are ready to see and hear all of the darkness buried under that little man's public facing little profile. And it looks like, Germany might be next. We reported a couple of weeks ago that the German parliament had a no vote confidence. I forgot now what it's called. And that there were going to be election very soon. And then Elon Musk tweeted not too long ago that he called Scholz a fool and called for his resignation. So something tells me he might be up next. And how many other presidents have resigned? I listed them the last time. I don't even remember them, but it's many. The French government collapsed. I mean, what's going on in the Romanian government? It's crazy. I guess now we're just waiting for South Africa, right? What's going to happen with South Africa? Because something's got to change soon, but things are a little quiet. So I'm pretty sure something is brewing. Mr. T and the White Hats, believe me, they play 5D chess. A lot of these things are interlinked. Remember that the Rothschilds and the Crown and the Vatican collectively own, shall we say, own many of these governments, including South Africa. And I'm talking about the corporation, the SA Inc., the RSA Inc., the USA Inc., all of these fraudulent corporations masquerading as governments. Many of them are owned and controlled by the same people, and so you can understand. But then when they go down publicly, they're all going to go down together, right? There will be very few countries left untouched, and 2025 is the year where all corruption is going to be revealed. All and any corruption on the political stage will be revealed for the public to see. So all of your normie friends that have been, laughing at you, calling you crazy, refuse to speak to you or invite you to the Christmas party, this is your year where you will be vindicated. Not that we need that. We're not into, saying to friends and family, I told you so. But still, we put a lot on the line. We risked our reputations, we risked our relationships, we risked our businesses, our livelihoods to speak the truth, because and I know and we all know it's never been popular to say these things, and you risk everything. You risk your business reputation, you risk your job at a company that doesn't support your views. We risk everything to speak the truth, and so it would be really, really beautiful to see all of this risk and our lives that we put on the line sort of be vindicated finally, and then I'm also thinking about Trump and how he publicly sort of calls out BRICS and Russia and Iran, and then pretends to not work with them. And you must remember, this is 5D chess, okay? The things that he says in public, the people that he especially props up and admires, are generally the people that he's going to be calling out. And I'm talking about people like Netanyahu, and I can think, and even people in his own cabinet. So they setting them up, and it's a sign that their time is up and that they are going to be up next. So, but of course, also the biggest news of the week, there's so many big things happened this week, is the fact that Trump has been finally certified now. We thought that was going to be a little bit of a fight. There was a lot of things going on in DC, including a massive ice storm, as you know. So people were not sure if enough of Congress would actually show up or be able to get to work to actually certify this thing. I mean, those cyber trucks that have been blowing up, the one in front of Trump Tower in Las Vegas, and so many things happening in DC that are sketchy. We saw so many military vehicles around the White House. It looked like there was going to be some shenanigans happening, but it was so easy. It was probably the easiest and smoothest certification process yet in many, many years. So anyway, I think things are forging forward now. They are going to be forcing the hand of many of these people. It's going to start happening fast now. We're still expecting a pretty action-packed January. I don't think this month will pass without major things happening. And I'm talking about things much bigger than we've seen up to date now, from the 1st of January up to now. I can just sort of think of the 10th of January, which is set to be a very, very interesting, potentially very interesting date. Not only is that the date that has been set aside to do the sentencing of Trump. I mean, really? You're going to sentence Trump on the 10th of Jan before he takes office? Are you serious? With all their fraudulent lawsuits and with that meme going around, seeing judges getting handcuffed and taken away by military. And there's that real raw news article. I forgot the judge's name, but he was sent to Gitmo, and he was unalived summarily. And another judge just before him, Mencken, something like that. This one's, and he was, I think he's the one that supposedly is supposed to sentence Trump when he's already been to Gitmo. So you can see how this is all a movie, right? But the other thing that is supposed to happen on the 10th is the Brunson case. They will have a conference around the Brunson case, or a meeting, shall we say, the judges. Now, there's been rumors flying around for weeks and weeks now that the Brunson case has already been heard, decided upon, but that NDAs have been signed and nobody could talk about it. So could this be the public outing of that information? I think it is important that first that Trump is confirmed before the Brunson case is revealed to the public, because otherwise they're going to say he's pulling this just to get into the presidential seat. So there's method to the madness, guys, and it's all going to unfold in a very, very interesting way. So buckle up. It's going to get really, really interesting. We've just seen Mike Johnson again getting into Speaker of the House, which is good news, because he's been delivering the mandate of this war, spiritual war going on, and doing as he's told by Trump, etc. And so that's a good thing. And then, of course, the issue with the fog. What is that around so many different states in the US? And we hear of a lot of people getting sick. Is this a last ditch effort of the deep state to pull something along with this avian flu coming to the fore again? Thing is, people are not falling for this crap anymore, and that's why their plans fell time after time after time. There was monkeypox, people made a joke of it. Bird flu, people made a joke of it. Now some, I don't know what they call it. I need to look it up, but that human whatever virus in China breaking out, that supposedly is some killer virus, and then in India. Like, seriously, we don't fall for this crap anymore. We know viruses don't exist. Oops, I hope this video is going to be fine on this platform, but I had to say it. I mean, computer viruses are something that is man-made, right? And that's what comes to mind when they launch all of these attacks. It's actually only a computer virus. That's what it is. And how fitting that Billy the Goat is the one pushing these things and the solution to these things, because he has been the king of computer viruses and computer software for how long? That's what he does. But suddenly he's a medical expert. How that happened, I don't know. But one day we'll look back at the stupidity of this era and we will not understand how that ever happened. How we were so asleep that we could actually give this guy any airtime whatsoever. I mean, seriously. Anyway, it's been interesting. And then, of course, all the drones and all the UFOs. There's so much activity in the sky that I think we can expect any moment our friends to land on the White House lawn. Maybe not yet, but you know what I mean. They're showing themselves more and more, these extraterrestrial crafts. So some of the, most of those drones are, of course, man-made, but we are also seeing extraterrestrial craft, UAPs, UFOs, whatever you want to call it. We are seeing a lot of signs the world over. There are so many videos, so many videos on TikTok, on Instagram, on X, on you name it, Telegram. It's all over the world. And of course, we saw 2 attempted terror attacks where, yes, people did get hurt, but luckily it wasn't as big as maybe the deep state wanted it to be. So, yeah. Anyway, I have a feeling UFOs will be in the news this year in a massive way, continuously throughout the year. And then very interesting, what I found very interesting was also Elon posting something about launching a speed train. Now, we know this technology already exists. We don't have access to it, but the deep state and I believe the White Hats have access to it. these underground bullet trains that go from one country to the next within half an hour or less. And he's tweeted about this. So this is narrative seeding, guys. Anything that is going to be of a technological nature during the next couple of weeks and months will be pushed by Elon. That's his role, because he is this tech genius, right? Supposedly tech genius. And he appeals to a younger audience because he doesn't mince his words. He says it like it is, and he's cool. And, so the younger generation love that. And that is exactly the type of person you need to do narrative seeding. Because there's a lot of technology that's going to come into play this year. I mean, there's 6,000 patents that have to be released. So they got to get going. They got to start releasing some of these things. Of course, there will be the World Fair in May. I think it starts in May, that Trump promised last year that he would make happen, and it will be a celebration. He spoke about a 1 year celebration. That sounds like a Jasara announcement celebration to me. But I don't think it'll be called that because, there's been too many conspiracy theories around this terminology. But it's going to just roll out systematically. Like he's already making changes to the IRS tax system, taking certain taxes away. That's just the beginning. And then, of course, things like debt forgiveness will follow. The financial reset, the introduction of gold, silver, and cryptocurrency. So all of these things are going to start happening publicly this year. XRP, so many interesting things. So they are all sort of aspects of Jasara Nasara. So we know that there are funds and trusts that have so much money in them that they can swallow all of the debt of the entire world and then give everyone enough to live off for decades. Like literally, that's how much money and assets there are in the world. And I was listening and I forgot where I heard this. It might have been somebody in South Africa that did an interview about the Alpha Omega Trust. Okay, that had so much money that it could wipe out all the debt. And then I found it very interesting the other day that Elon Musk was wearing a pendant with the Omega sign. Does he know something we don't? A lot of people were saying, oh, that's an Illuminati and there's an eye in there. And it's like, stop, guys. Like, really, you need to stop being so paranoid and realize that all these symbols have been hijacked over the years, but they're not bad. We are taking them back. Like I said, all the symbology, all the numerology that have been hijacked, we're taking it all back, including 666, which wasn't a satanic number to begin with. We're taking all of that back and we're flipping it around. We're alchemizing the energy and we infusing it with love for this 5D new earth that we're busy walking into. Humanity still has a lot of work to do. It's not going to be easy, trust me. Even for us that are awake, it's not going to be easy. We have to do the work. There are no shortcuts, but it's going to be so rewarding and so worth it. And we came here for this. I mean, what a time to be alive, guys. Wow, what an honor to be alive on earth at this point and to be part of this movement. I cannot think of anything more exciting. Yeah, what a week. I also wanted to talk about, I've sort of come to realize that, I mean, we kind of know it, but there's a lot of infiltration in this movement, right? So you've got to be really, really discerning because there are a lot of Mossad agents walking around posing as truth speakers, freedom fighters, you name it, in this movement. So we've got to be very, very careful. Now, somebody that I just heard recently is a Mossad agent, which I found very interesting. And David Sorensen from StopWorldControl.com said He knows this with absolute certainty. I'm just repeating what I've heard. I'm not saying anything, but I'm repeating what he said. He said David Icke is a Mossad agent, which actually, when you think about it, makes a lot of sense. He looks like he's fighting for our cause, but there is like this negativity infused in everything that he says. It's like very like, there's no hope, forget about it, all hope is gone, we're heading for a terrible future. Um, so we've got to be very discerning, because there's a lot of clever people out there that don't have our best interests at heart. So this is the time where we need to learn discernment. We need to learn to trust our instincts. If something doesn't feel good, if it doesn't resonate with you, don't listen to it. Don't think you have to listen to it because you don't want to be fooled, and you just have to listen to that person because they seem to be telling the truth. No. If it doesn't resonate in your heart and it doesn't sit well in your gut, then don't switch it off. And that's why I switched that guy off a long time ago. I've not listened to him since, because I realized that there was something inherently extremely negative and fatalistic about his approach and his message. And I just wasn't going to let any of that into my space or into my head. And funny enough, the other person that David called out was Brittany Webb. Interesting, because she comes across as a very smart girl who's done a lot of research, and she calls out everyone, and she knows a lot about the financial industry, like a lot. But the same thing that bothered me about David has bothered me about her. Very negative outlook. It's all doom and gloom. There's no hope. We're all screwed. That is the backdrop of their message. Every single message, every single interview. If you really look at those people, do they seem to have love in their heart? Do they look like they are evolved spiritually? Do they look like they radiate love? Or do they have a little bit of darkness around them? I don't know. You have the answer. I'm just asking you to have a look, keep an open mind, and to trust your instincts. Trust your intuition. This is where we come in now. We have to start trusting our intuition, our higher self, our gut, whatever you want to call it. Trust it. It will not let you down. It won't ever let you down. When everything else fails, your higher self will never let you down. It will be your biggest ally. So make friends with it. Get to know your higher self. It's there for you, exclusively just to you, for you, to guide you along this journey of uh, ascension and discovery and learning, about the world and the universe at large. Um, and funny, was also saying it about Alex Jones, but I think Alex Jones, we all feel that might be Alex Jones 2.0 that we are seeing. That at some point they were taking him out because he was getting too powerful, and he had a plan of stepping in at just the right moment to discredit Trump and others in this movement, and that he was going to have a very big influence on the community, on the truth seeking community, and that they couldn't let that happen. And of course, I don't know, crimes against humanity, that's the thing. So that's how they're able to remove some of these people. And in some cases where they have a big influence, that person is replaced by an actor to deliver certain messages that are in line with the white hat 5D chess strategic plan of revealing the truth. And so that's pretty believable to me. And but I don't want you to believe what I'm saying. Just you tune in yourself, look at those people, feel their energy. The energy will not lie. Energy never lies. So start feeling into people. How are they making you feel? Do they have an overactive ego? That's also a telltale sign. When they have a huge ego and they making you feel small, or making you feel like you don't know anything, you better listen to them. That's a telltale sign that that person is an agent working for the dark, whether they know it or not, whether they are aware of it or not. It doesn't matter. Just tune out, because we are the creators of this reality. So they can use us to create whatever dystopian future they want. They use us for that purpose by planting the seeds, by influencing us, by having these infiltrators delivering negative news. And then we start thinking about, oh, what can happen? We're going to have a catastrophe and a pole shift and this and that. And it's all doom and gloom and all hope is lost. And we might as well just roll up in a ball and die, or we might as well just rejoin the matrix and have fun while we have the opportunity. The other person that I've heard that from is Bashir's, Jason Bashir's, also an agent. And that, again, I cannot listen to that guy. A lot of people say he's so smart, he's so intelligent, he's researched so much. Yes, he's been fed all this information by the three-letter agencies. So what they do is, it's like 80 to 90% of truth, and then the rest are terrible lies that can derail you from your path forever. Also, very negative guy. It's all doom and gloom. It's all going to shit. And trust him because he knows. Because he knows. It's like, no, there's a lot of darkness there. I don't have to listen to you. And I'm going to tune out. So yeah, practice your discernment. You don't have to listen to anyone just because the word they speak seems true, or very intellectual, or very well researched, or whatever it be. You don't have to listen to that person. Trust yourself. You are so powerful. Your intuition, your higher self will never lie to you, like I said to you. Um, which brings me to, the spiritual metaphysical news of the week that I wanted to share. My goodness, we've had solar flares hit this planet like it's like non-stop. I'm talking about several X flares in a day, CMEs, M flares. I mean, it's been a lot. I think the amount of solar flares we've had in 2024 and 2025 to date, we've never seen in maybe 1,000 years on this earth. I don't know. I'm paraphrasing here, and it's maybe not entirely truthful, but I know I've had a lot of people that are very much in the know of um, space weather and all of these things, said that the earth has never experienced this in many, many, many centuries. So we are in a very unique um, time here on earth, where we're moving into this photon belt more and more. Lots of light flooding the planet. There are solar flares that are coming off the sun to flood our planet with not only light, but also light codes, information. Light has and carries information. So all of this is not by accident. And I think we can all we feel different this year, right? Things have shifted, things have moved. We're not the same person as we were even a couple of weeks ago. So all these solar flares, and of course, the Schumann resonance is going crazy. I mean, literally, if you look at the Schumann resonance, you can see the amount of light, like for literally days, it's like hammering us, boom, 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 boom. We get a slight break and then it starts again. So it's almost like a speeding up process to say, okay, we need to catch up now. We're moving closer to this big ascension event on Earth, and there's a lot of work to be done, and we're delivering it all at once. No more breaks in between. We're just feeling it every single day. So our entire bioelectrical system in this process is being upgraded. Like dormant DNA is being activated. I mean, that is the beautiful thing. You may feel a lot of ascension symptoms, but know that you are being upgraded. So just take the rest, do the self-care during this time. Just do what you need to do, but take care of yourself, okay? It's very important, self-care, because these things are tough on our bodies, but ultimately it's upgrading us. Our carbon system is transforming into a crystalline system, which seems impossible. But if you think in terms of quantum, it is very possible. So we basically, literally, slowly but surely stepping into our light bodies, because that's what crystalline, the Christed light is all about. Yeshua achieved it 2,000 years ago, and now it's our turn. That's why it's the return of the Christ. It's the return of this energy on the planet, and the entire human race is going to go through it, or at least the positively inclined ones. So it's an event. It's incredible. You may feel your senses being activated, your smell, your sight, your hearing might be enhanced. Definitely for me, sight and smell. Which is not always fun because I know exactly what soap somebody used in the morning to shower or what roll-on they used on their underarm, especially if it's these chemical stuff that I don't no longer use. My nose is so sensitive to it, I can't even smell it anymore. Not to speak of the people that had this thing in the arm and they don't live healthy lives because the way that the nanites and the spike protein is taken over their body, self-replicating, it creates this cloud of gas around the body, which I can smell, and it's not good. So normally I try to run a mile the other direction when I come across a person like that. And I feel sorry for them because they don't even know what's going on. It's sad actually, but yeah, hopefully the solar flare somehow will take care of all of this. There will be a solution for all of these people. I'm really hoping. But we must participate in this process. Stuff will come up, shadows, old traumas, stuff that you didn't even know you had anymore will come up. We have to process it. It's not about suppressing it. It's about also releasing trapped energy and dark shadows within our own bodies. It's about releasing all that stuff now. Not pushing it down. You have to recognize it, see it, feel it, and release it, and replace it with love energy. That's 5D, right? So only allow positive things into your mind, into your space. If something doesn't feel good, switch it off. That's as simple as it is. You have free will, remember, but you have to make the choice to switch it off. Nobody will do it for you. So it's all an inside job. No amount of intellectual research and investigation and knowledge will do the job for you. You've got to go through it physically because this is a physical, embodied ascension that we're going through. We're literally quantum upgrading our entire bodies to go to a higher realm within this physical body. So we're taking it from 3D to 5D, which is incredible. So we will see all the human shortcomings are, we will overcome that. All of the limitations that have been placed upon our DNA, we're going to be overcoming that in the years to come. We're going to be living in a quantum way. We're going to be in all aspects of our life. We're going to have quantum healing. Quantum will be all around us, including our financial system. It's going to be quantum. Um, so, try and develop your intuition, your discernment, because this will really support you in this journey during the next couple of years. And also know how to protect yourself, how to clear unwanted energies. Do that regularly. There's so many things flying about still. The darkness is kind of on their last legs, so they are just grasping at straws. So just protect yourself, without fear, just with an inner sense of power and confidence about who you are. Like, realize who you really are. We are powerful beings. Not saying that in an egotistical way, but in just a magnificent gratitude kind of way. In 2025, with all of these changes upon us, you have to meet these energies halfway. You've got to do the work. You've got to make time for yourself. You've got to get still and quiet. You've got to reflect. You've got to become mindful, much more mindful. You've got to become self-aware so that you can continuously try to be a better person. Do the spiritual growth that you need for us to get to the next level. Go through all of it with open heart, an open heart, and an open mind. This year is about service to others. It's time to drop those selfish pursuits. This is about helping others in the future because this is also the age of Aquarius. It's the nature of the age of Aquarius. So there's no other way. I don't think people who are in service to self will be able to survive much, much longer. So start looking how you can help people around you, how you can be in service of others and this incredible event happening on Earth right now. It doesn't have to be in big ways. It can help, just help one person. Just do something nice for one person. That is service to others. Just balance it out, you know. Um, so that's what I wanted to let you know. I think that's kind of where I am for now with my 2025 message and my weekly intel update and my spiritual news. So I hope that helps you in some way. And if you feel so called, remember you can join us on Zoom for our Vivid Earth 5D Mastery Community meetings. That's happening on Sunday, on every Sunday, 12 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 7 p.m. South African Standard Time. You can certainly work out your own time zone from there. If you'd like to join, you can go to my website, vividearth.org. While you're on there, if the little newsletter box pop up and you're interested to be informed of what's happening in the world of Vivid Earth and Anina and everything else, then please subscribe and you'll get our weekly newsletters. And then you can also sign up on the membership. If you scroll down on the website, it's only $8.88 a month. I just wanted to make it as low as possible. All we need to do is just cover expenses, web design, and all of these things. And if you can't afford it, just send me an email at live@vividearth.org or subscribe to the newsletter and I will send you a link for the Zoom. And I'm happy to gift those that can't afford it a membership, because this is about, creating change on earth, not about making a few bucks, to be quite honest. I'm so way beyond that in my life. So what else? Make sure you subscribe to our Telegram channel. That's where we update you daily on all things intel and spiritual ascension news. And then, of course, make sure that you subscribe here on YouTube. This is our third channel, so we need all the help we can get. We've lost so many subscribers over the last 2.5 years. So we're trying to build it back up. Shadow banning is a real thing. So do us a favor, if you enjoyed the content, share it with others. Give us a like. Let me know where you guys are from. Where are you from? I always love to hear where people are from. I love different cultures and different places in the world. It's one of my things that I absolutely love, to visit new places. So let me know where you guys are from. And yeah, if you're on Rumble, make sure you subscribe on Rumble. Or if you're on YouTube, you can pause and just click on the link in the video description, because if we disappear again, at least you know where to find us. Rumble is always the backup and the go-to, because there's no censorship there. And I think that's it. I don't think I've forgotten about anything, but anyway, I wish you guys a beautiful week ahead. It's going to be action-packed. Buckle up. This journey is not for sissies, but we are all stronger than we ever realized and ever thought possible. So you are born for such a time. And it's an incredible honor to be alive on this planet right now. So enjoy the ride, guys. I'm sending you all much, much love.